Hey, Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone, the elders who rule well. Peace and blessings to you fellow brothers pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. Shabbat Chanak. Coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Kwadash. Shalom, shalom to all the believers out there fighting for their faith in these wicked, evil, demonic times. All right, so this is gonna be a walk and talk lesson. I pray the lesson is edifying, and this is based upon this video. I had it in a playlist, and I've been trying to do like a sit down for a minute, but the spirit telling me I got to get on the move. Okay. So I'm taking this video separately to do a video on this, and it's pretty much the same. It's going around the same spirit of the MOTB. That's what it's about. Okay, which these videos are not really exciting, and there's not a new controversy. So videos on the MOTB is not really really get that many hits. Maybe every once in a while they will. Okay, I did a video the other day based upon a dream that was in response to the Elder Apostle Tahar's video upon a dream that a woman, black woman saw, about, prophecy, ultimately, the chipping and the chariots. Okay, and this video, again, this is off a response to, this is a channel at World Government Summit. It's almost like a World Economic Forum type deal. It's one of these summits, okay? What is a summit? A summit is the top of the mountain, okay? The top of the mountain is, in the scriptures, a mountain a lot of times refers to governments, okay? And at the top of the government are what? The rulers, all right? So they hold summits, okay? So these are the so-called world leaders, and in this video they're in, I believe they're in Dubai. So it's a lot of Arabs and a lot of they're in United Arab Emirates or Dubai, one of them, right? And so there's a lot of Arabs and a lot of African nations that are in that summit, and the ones that are speaking. And I'll put the link to the video. I might even chop something up and throw it in post-production. But I have my other laptop, so I don't have I'm not set up to do that. But we'll see if the spirit jump on me to find, the software. I'm not as savvy as I used to be with the software and computers. Okay. But it's Edomites. So you have Tom Hale, CEO of Aura. It's these, these. I think it's another small hat, Sir Ifiken Ozikin, I don't know how to pronounce the dude's name, Vice President of Nike, and Nolan Arba, first recipient Neuralink discussion, the human version 2.0 at World Government Summit. I'm gonna ask AI to summarize this video, and this is based off a response to the title of their video is, "Are you ready for human 2.0? Okay, anything that's 2.0 is an upgrade. So basically, the world leaders, which videos like this, the majority of the people are not watching. They're watching, the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl just passed. Millions of people watch the Super Bowl. Millions of people watch the NBA and hockey and soccer and funny videos and comedians, right? We know of the bread and circus. All right, Ecclesiastes, the 10th chapter, folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. So here in Babylon the Great, what's really extolled to the clouds and uplifted is what? Folly. Joking and pranks and sexual content. Okay, nothing that's going to further build a society for the better, but rather it breaks you down. It breaks down your mind. It breaks down your psyche. It defiles your spirit. and it prepares you for judgment, destruction, and that's essentially what's going to happen. So I just asked AI to summarize this video now, right? It says this video features a discussion at the World Government Summit with Tom Hale, CEO of Aura, Surfakin Ozin, VP Nike, and Nolan Arba, first recipient of Neuralink, about the future of human enhancement and the ethical consideration surrounding these advancements. Right, they're moving forward with the agenda, which John the Revelator saw. Let's just go right there. Let's just go right there. We bring it out all the time, but we're just gonna keep beating the dead horse. We're gonna keep putting it right in front of your face. So when the time comes, okay, you know not to take it, because we're all going to be confronted, all right, with, all right, either putting it in our head, okay, our brain, our metapon, okay, where the scriptures say the forehead, and we're going to get that, all right, or our right hand, which is our power hand, our dextrose. And this is why it's important. Our apostles, you know, the elder bishops that taught us, they stressed, you know, looking up words, understanding what you're reading. Okay, that is a sign of a scholar. That's biblical. Bear with me. I'm sipping some tea. All right, Revelation 13, 6. And I'm just going to pull out those two words, forehead and right hand. Okay, Revelation 13 and 16. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So let's look up. We already know what the word mark means. A cut, incision, charagma. The root of that is charax, which that's the delivery system, the needle. Okay. Let's look at this word right hand. All right, because while everybody is distracted, the world leaders are talking about human advancements, and they're not talking about, you know, how to, save the earth, you know, from pollution, you know, how to make sure the homeless is taken care of, the housing crisis, the poor. They're not trying to help the poor. No, they're talking about merging your ass with a machine. And they have the guy, the first recipient, and we've done videos on this guy, openly recipient of Neuralink, because we know that they've been doing these things behind the scenes, all right, of Neuralink. All right, the first open recipient, and they got him up there, you know, basically telling you his capabilities, what he can and what he can't do. And you have a lot of people that are amazed at the advancement in these technologies, and they're going to be so much amazed that they're going to actually agree to allow this man to put that technology inside of him. And you're going to have a lot of our people that's going to do it. I would say when they really push it, you're going to see a push for a lot of these jakes to do it. Even a lot of these celebrities like Kim Kardashian spoke about having a Neuralink, okay, and how it's going to help her. So let's look up this word. Hand. All right, right hand. It says right hand, right? Dexios, which goes back to the word dextrose. When you look that word up, it doesn't mean your actual right hand. It means your power hand. Okay, so a left-handed person, okay, somebody like a fighter that fights southpaw, they will be considered left-handed. Okay, and they will fight with their right hand forward and their left hand behind them, okay, in the back. That will be their power hand. Okay, when they write something on, when they sign their name, they're going to use their power hand, their left hand, but that's their dextrose. Okay, like ambidextrose. Ambi means both. Dextrose means hands, meaning you are able to use both hands equally. Okay. Right, it says right hand, the right hand. The right side of the hand, which usually takes right. Most people are right-handed. Most people are right-handed. But if you got it in your shoulder, you still got it. When you go into Revelation, the 14th chapter, it doesn't say right hand, it just says hand. So if you got it in your butt cheek, maybe you don't have hands, maybe you got it in your elbow, you still got it. Bear with this while these dogs do what they do. Okay? That's how we are. We're like them annoying dogs that just keep barking. Okay? And we're barking for a reason. All right? All right, so we got that word. And this is important for us to look up words so we can have an understanding of what we're reading. Okay? And then now we want to look at the word forehead. Metapon. Right. The space between the eyes, the forehead. So when John saw this vision, the Most High opened up his mind to see this vision. Okay. He saw the procedure. He saw people getting the chip inside their brain, and he saw people getting the chip inside their power hand. Okay. Now, I had a dream too. I did a video on this. This was last year sometime, some months back, maybe 6 months, which I was, in particular dreams, you're like the point of view of that particular person, like another person. You're like your point of view is the person. So it was a dream. I was looking at the point of view. It was a soldier, and he got his leg cut off. I believe it was his leg. And he went in with an operation. And I remember him going into operation, and then coming out of the operation, he had like a bionic arm or leg, right? And he had a chip in his brain, right? And he was able, like when you say Alexa, right? Alexa say, hey, what do you want? What would you like me to do? Or you talk to Chat GPT, hey, Chat, what should I, It was basically, he had that power, but he was able to say that in his mind and think. And then Google will, it'll tell you, okay, what's this? What's that? So he had that technology inside him. And that's the point. They want to merge you with the AI. Now they have, what is it, AGI, the artificial general intelligence. What they're saying, AI will be smarter than humans by the end of this year. It's so many things that they say. I want to get we got that. Let me get Proverbs 2. That this came to mind when I was watching that video, because in that room, all you see is heathens. Okay, and the heathens are moving forward with this agenda. They're not playing. They're not slowing down. Okay, they're only fighting because America has given them the bad end of the deal, right? But you don't see a push away from these technologies. Okay, you see a push to adopt these technologies and to integrate them into their society, and hope, or the plan is to, extend life, to make everything better. You know what I mean? To make your life better, when all actuality is to put you in slavery. Because they're not telling you that they're going to have full control over your mind. The Most High gave him technology to be able to tap in, to be able to peek at certain things. The Lord, he gave him some stuff, all in order to fulfill his will. Okay, on the left-hand side. So this is Psalms 2:1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? Let's look at this word rage. Because essentially this summit, that's all that it is. It's these heathen raging. And who's at the forefront of these summits? The small hat. Who's at the forefront of engineering, socially engineering, and leading the earth into sin, essentially? All right, because they're going to cause individuals to sin by deception. Okay, that's the small hat, the Edomite. They're at the forefront of all this. Who's building a lot of these technologies? What's it called? Edom, Amalek, Moab, and Elam. Ishmael's there too. Okay, they're building these technologies. Some of the top scientists in artificial intelligence are Moabites. Or they have more, they have a more robust AI than America, and they do it cheaper. They have more humanoids. All right, they're full fledged in it, man. These heathen, they're full fledged. So they come together. They come together to rage. Like again, we're gonna look up this word. We're gonna look at this word rage. Okay, and ultimately it's a vain thing because they're trying to go against what the Most High set up. Okay, and that's Yahweh Shai. All right, the government, the 144,000, and the rest of the elect, and then ultimately all Israel dwelling on earth, being the top nation on the earth, and all the other nations serving us. See, that's what's written, and they're trying to supersede that, right? And it's vain because it's not going to work. They should just humble themselves, but that's not how the story is written. Okay, that word rage is ragash. All right, to be in a tumult, commotion, conspire, plot. Right, they're all plotting and conspiring, and it's gonna, when we read down, it's gonna show you who they're plotting and conspiring against. They have an intention. Maybe not all the individuals as a whole know what's going on. They just think, oh, it's technology. Oh, we're just moving forward. This is how life is. But those that are at the summit, at the elite level, okay, at the elite level, they know that they're directly going against what is. Okay, he is Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai. Okay, and it's say they didn't know. Now they do know because we're telling them, and they know that we're the prophets. All right, he hid all the history. Okay. Right, Esau, he went to the moon, he went to Mars, he got all this technology, he got AI, he can make robots, and you're telling me that he doesn't know that we're the Israelites. Those Persians, those Iranians, they know that we're the Israelites. You had the president of Egypt, that Gamal Nasser, I forget his full name. He knew that we're the Israelite. He said that the Jews left black and they came back white. All right, those Arabs in that region, really the whole world know who the people are. All right, but there's been a major veil that has been covered over the people, especially here in the West. Okay, because it was all by design. All right, to deceive he had power. The Lord gave him power to deceive the nations for a small season. Okay, during the time of the Renaissance, the rebirth of the Roman way, and any of these, any of the advancements, his technology, he accredits it back to what? The Greeks and the Romans, and then also he'll throw in the Egyptians because he loves those Egyptians, which them Egyptians were heavy into. Basically Mystery Babylon religion. Okay, going back to the Canaanites, going back to Mesopotamia, going back into the dark arts. All right, and their society was based upon death, the worshiping of death, right? You had the Book of the Dead. They had all these different gods. It's the same thing that we're dealing with now. Many similarities from ancient Egypt to modern Egypt, or spiritual Egypt, as you should say. And what was one thing that were in common? All the Israelites were in captivity. And it wasn't just hard bondage all throughout that 420 years, 430 years. It wasn't just hard bondage. You had Jake that got up in high position. Look at, remember Joseph. Okay. Right, Ragash, which means atomic, tumult, commotion, to conspire, plot. So let me read that again. Give me 1 second. Right, Psalms 2:1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth, see, it's talking about the king, not talking about the average everyday person that's just going to work, got a 9-to-5, maybe have a business, No, that these regular people, they worrying about, I want to go to a trip to Dubai, I want to go to Mexico. That's their highlight of their life if they're able to go to Dubai and take Instagram photos, or buy a Birkin bag or a Louis Vuitton bag, or some or get a cyber truck. That's the highlight of their life. Okay, we are speaking against the kings and the rulers of this world. All right, that don't tell the people what's actually going on, but do give them crumbs, and openly really tell them, but it's all through deception. Okay, the information is there, but the majority of the people, their eyes are not focused on this information. It's conspiracy to them. It doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. It's not fun. It's boring, right? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together, right? That's that raging, which is a tumult, okay? A commotion, a wicked counsel, right? Take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying. So that's basically what this video is going into. What's it called? The World Government Summit. World Government Summit. So you're just not gonna pick up a random person, working, from working at Walgreens, and he's gonna go to the summit and speak. No. It's a world government. So the government means what? To control the mind. Which a government is not necessarily bad. That's not an actual bad thing. A government is supposed to steer its people in a righteous way. And these governments all around the world, they're steering the people in a wicked, evil way. Okay? And in this summit, they're speaking about the advancement of mankind. Okay? The advancement of mankind, and how basically they have the guy in there with the chip in his head speaking about the capability that he has, and they're speaking that's the advancement. That's what they're talking about. Okay? And Esau's not playing. He's going to go with the plan. He's too deep. He truly believes that he's going to be successful. He already put it on his dollar bill. Okay? He already put it on his dollar bill, and he feels that he got to fight. He's so proud that he thinks that he's going to be able to do it. And if he fails, he'll just, come out of the bunker, and start over again. Like the phoenix that rises through the dust. Right? He believes, see, you so-called black, Hispanic, Native Americans, you don't understand your enemy. The scriptures say that the heart of every one of them is deep. Okay? The thoughts that we get, even the wicked thoughts that Jake gets, right, does not compare to the evil that it goes constantly through this man's mind. And the thing which he has is he's able to do it. He's able to work, how does the scripture say? Devise iniquity upon their beds, because it is in their power to practice it. Right? What stops Jake? Jake don't have the resources and the freedom, okay, to fulfill all the lust of their heart, and that's all Jake would do, is just fulfill the lust of their heart. Esau, the scripture say that he has more than heart can wish. So his mind is how to destroy people. His mind is how to stay in power forever. Don't get it twisted. Esau's not a dummy. He knows that nations have they have a shelf life around 250 years. Okay, and I believe this is the year 2026. That vibration of 6, right? And in this video too, they speak about how they want to give humans a sixth sense. Okay, which is connecting you to artificial intelligence, okay, through technology, not evolution. Esau's not waiting for evolution. That was a big scam. He's not waiting for niggas to grow, a tail and some goddamn wings and a long nose. He's not waiting for that. To be able to, you get springs in your leg, you could jump like a goddamn kangaroo. He's not waiting for that. You get a leopard's paw. You have not seen anybody like that. That was all a lie, okay? His evolution is merging your ass with machine. Are you ready for human 2.0? And we're gonna see a major push towards these technologies. They're putting it right in our face. This was 6 days ago from today, okay? Let's go back. Verse 3. No, let me read verse 2 again. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, Okay, so this is all in the NW to the O. You so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Americans, you're not part of that. The position that you fill will be a goddamn zombie, if that. If they don't need you no more, they already studied you. Okay, they don't need a LeBron and a Floyd Mayweather. They're done. They want total control of the earth. They want to put a chip in you. And any of you Negroes, Hispanic that buck up, they're setting the stage to blame you. They're literally setting the stage to blame you for why, you know, the Western society is falling. It was niggas' fault. You know, black people fault. It was the drug. And we don't even have to go into it. You know, we know what it is. I don't even want to go into it. That's another lesson for another day. Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us, because what's written, all right, what's written is he's going into captivity. They're going to be under us. That's what's written. That's the prophecy. But they're saying, no, we don't subscribe to that. Okay, we don't subscribe to that. We are going to be the rulers, the next rulers of the masters of the universe. And they'll make movies on it. Okay. It says, he that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. Let's look at this word derision. The Most High is laughing through us, or because the plan is not going to fail. We seeing it. It was like this dude's out of his mind. And he's going to take the world for a spin. He's going to take the world for a big ass surprise. But see, what's going to happen with us is, yeah, we'll get initially surprised. Like if you walk in, you know, in your house, you know, and your significant other or your brother or something is around the corner and yeah, you'll initially get scared. That doesn't mean you're afraid and you can't get a hold of yourself. You were just initially scared at that moment. It rattled you. So that's how it's going to be. But we understand what all these things imply, what it means when another black swan event happens, what it means when Esau comes in, all right, like a madman sparing none. Okay, when the devil comes down unto us, when we get thrown in prisons, when we get our life threatened, when we see people dying of disease, we know what that means. That's not going to scare us into bending the knee to take the MOTB. Okay, bending the knee to take the MOTB. Okay, that's a lesson. So what word are we going to get? We're going to have derision. It's la'ig. Okay, to mock, deride, ridicule, to mock, to stammer, to have in derision. Let's look at this word derision. Look up. Okay, let's see. Contemptuousness, ridicule, or mockery. Yeah, to mock, basically. All right, let's look at the word deride. And that's what we're actually doing that right now. Express contempt for, ridicule. Yeah, that's what we're as the scriptures say, derision. That Esau's in derision right now. We're mocking his plan right now. And mind you, he has the power of the earth right now. Okay, he has power. He has sway and influence over the whole earth. A demonic influence, if that. Nevertheless, he does not have an influence over the elect. That's what all that. When you come into this truth, you realize that it's all about the elect. It's not about everybody. The sanctuary. What is it called? The Most High is dealing with the small sanctuary of believers. Okay, in comparison to the people that are going to be destroyed, what the scriptures say, many are created, but few shall be saved. Let me get that. You might think that I'm actually making that up. Let me pull that up in Apocrypha. Okay, there be many created, but few shall be saved. Second Ezra's, bear with me. I can't see. Let me see. Is it 8? Right, and then when you go into 7, it speaks about how the kingdom of heaven is like a narrow path with, fire on one side and raging water on the other side, and only one person can walk at a time. But this is Second Ezra 8, and I'll start at 1. And he answered me, saying, the Most High has made this world for many, but the world to come for few. So that's where our mind is at Our mind is at the world to come, not the world now. All right, this world now, as the scriptures say, it's polluted. Okay, and it shall destroy you. All right, Micah, right? Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. It is polluted, it shall destroy you with a sore destruction, something like that, right? Vaguely paraphrased. You can read it, or you could post it. If you give it your all in this world, okay, you get nothing in return but sorrow and heartbreak. Furthermore, as Israelites, we have curses upon us. We're not here to win. Now, the jakes that so-called the illusion of winning, because really it's just the illusion of winning, they're really losing and they're miserable. And nevertheless, everybody comes back. Okay, everybody comes back, all right, and receives the things that they have done in their bodies. All right, so the judgment is still going to be there. You can't run, oh, I got away with it. There's never been anybody that got away from the Most High's judgment. I'm going to jump down to verse 3. It says, there be many created, but few shall be saved. See? So let's go back to Psalms 2. Right, verse 5. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath. So remember, first he's going to have them in derision. Right? The scriptures say what? In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. So while he's trying to implement his plan, he's going to have a lot of trouble doing it. He's going to be able to do particular things, but he's not going to be able to enjoy his food. Okay, it should be cast out of his belly. He's going to vomit everything up. Okay. It also talks about thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels. So he's going to be ridiculed, derided, okay, mocked. Okay, then it says, then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure. Just as we read in 2 Thessalonians, first he shall be consumed with the spirit of his mouth, then destroyed by the brightness of his coming. Okay, first he's going to be exposed, and you see what's going on with the whole Epstein thing. He's being exposed. He didn't have to release that. Okay, Esau didn't have to release that, but he thinks he's going to be able to do it for, in his particular advantage. And it also shows you that these people are upset, that they get upset at the wrong thing. Here it is. It's a global trafficking ring by your global elites, your government, all your major billionaires, all your major players in this world. Okay, in America, all your senators, your congressmen on the right and the left. Okay, and they didn't really release what really is happening. But what is happening is still grotesque. All right. And the people there, it's just I haven't seen one fucking, and tell me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen one fucking protest. Now, remember when the Pizzagate thing came out, right? They were trying to suppress that. And there were it was like little groups basically trying to, bring that certain information out. And then that just fizzled away. Who's to say that wasn't infiltrated and set up either? Okay. But I haven't seen one. Let me Google it. Let me Google it. Have there been, I could be wrong, there been any protests about the Epstein files? Okay, you had in New Delhi, protests erupt in New Delhi over Modi's name in Epstein file. Yeah, all your world leaders. There you, yeah, you have protests because they're more smart. Okay, they have more of their head on their shoulders. Okay. There's really nothing. There's really no major. New Delhi. There's really no major. Yeah, I'm looking. Okay. Yeah, in Mexico. All right. Yeah, there's no major protests here in America about the Epstein files. You would think these people would be, you know, basically getting ready to take down their government, but there's nothing. It's quiet. Why? because these people are freaks too. Within just the regular American, uh, uh, civilization population, a lot of these individuals have done sexual acts of children. Okay, and there's statistics on that. A lot of trafficking done. A lot of parents selling their children into just demonic wicked thing. They've done it. They've been touched. Damn near everybody, down there, every woman has been touched by somebody close to them. So of course they ain't going, and it's happening now. There's a lot that goes unreported. All right, so these people, they just deserve destruction. All right, let me read verse 5 again. Psalms 2 and 5. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. And that's speaking about when the Most High starts striking this place with major plagues, and then ultimately send his son back and then shoot missiles on America. All right, you had Russia. You had one of the, I forget, he's high up in the government, Sergei Lavrov. What is he? I forget. And even Putin, they spoke about how these elites here in America, the West, how they drink children's blood, and but they guilty of it too. Russia's not absolved. They freaks too. They're Edomites. Okay, and the Most High has something against Russia. Okay, verse 6. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. Again, going to the mountains and hills. Right, the Most High's hill is holy. His mountain is holy, which means separate. Okay, it's not. You see these other nations. What do? They come together, and it's a big smorgasbord of mess. It's just a pot of scum. Okay, you got all different types of meats in there: pork, shrimp, lobster. Then you got clean meats. You got some lamb in there, some chicken. Then you got some goddamn duck foot, baby toes, and they all eating it. And these heathens, they be eating dog and cat and rabbit and they eat humans too. It goes into that Wisdom of Solomon, the 12th chapter, the priesthood. And this is how they get these world leaders. You want to be a world leader? Well, you got to be tied in. Okay, they have to have some dirt on you. Okay, and they'll release that dirt. So you had Modi, which is the Prime Minister of India. He was in the Epstein files. They all get down, man, when you get into that realm. So everybody is being exposed, and they're doing this on purpose because they want to destroy all the world governments to bring you into a new world government. The N to the W to the O. That's been the plan. That's been the plan the whole time. And many conspiracy theorists, or really truthers, it's not even a conspiracy theorist, speak about how the ultimate goal is to reveal all these things at the end. Okay, reveal what they're actually doing. Okay, that's all part of their ritual. It's a ritual. Okay, now it's being made more open now, because ultimately you have to accept taking the mark. Okay, you have to accept taking this technology, and all the people that are a part of these demonic cults are the same individuals that are making this technology, promising you superpowers, like Elon Musk, which he's a crypto Jew. Okay, I believe he's a small hat. He's basically a small hat. Okay, he just came out of nowhere. All these individuals, Sam Altman, and they just come out of nowhere, and they're multi-billionaires. Like, where does this nigga come from? So they put these people in your face, and they give you a false hope. This is nothing but the heathen raging. Okay, but our hope is in Yahweh Shem Shai and the prophecies coming to pass, and the Most High destroying these people. Okay, but before that, Esau, he gonna go crazy. And Jake is gonna bug the hell out. I thought he was a good white man. I thought he was good. The white man can make it too. And he gonna show his horns. And then you're gonna be pricked, because the scriptures say what? Never trust thy enemy. And we've been telling Jake that's part of the gospel, the good news. It's also revealing who your enemy is, okay, and how you should act behind enemy lines. What did Yahushua say? He said, "I sent you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves." Because the enemy, he's waiting for Jake to get, violent. Okay, he's saying, oh, the cartels, they're shooting ICE agents and they have hits on Donald Trump. Okay, the gangs have hits on different. You had a Jake that made, I get it could be fabricated, but he got arrested. He made on like a live stream. He basically made a unalive threat to Nero Trump. Okay, and now I guess he got 3 years in prison. Okay, so they not playing no more. Esau not playing, and you Jakes, you're gonna learn the hard way. Which, hey, that's just the way that it is. We don't get mad about that. We just want to make it to the kingdom. So if hella niggas gotta die for that to happen, because that's what the Most High said, then that's what it is. We could cry all day, cry as much as you want. We're in the spirit as long as we make it. Okay, the scriptures say what? Work out thy own salvation with fear and trembling. So this is really all an individual battle within, okay? And you're going to have casualties of wars. You're going to have certain men that are crept in unawares, certain men that got, distracted from the task at hand, distracted from the war, okay? Individuals, I don't know what the hell that is. Individuals that didn't count the costs, and just plain niggas that are around us, man. And the Most High is going to destroy. You got a lot of niggas, even that's going to be revealed amongst Great Millstone. Remember, there's always going to be a house cleaning. The Most High is always cleaning house. That's why we must remain humble in this thing. You got individuals that come in this thing, they get knowledge from the apostles, and then they think that they're over the apostles. Okay, they think that now they're gonna bring something extra. The word is already broken down. And then say something is revealed unto you, there's a proper way to, go along through those channels. All right. But men, they get puffed up, and we see these guys, they fall out. Every one of them. Okay. Every one of them fall out. All right. Right. So Yahushua is going to be upon the holy hill of Zion. Again, the top of the hill or a mountain is the peak, the summit. I would declare the decree. It's a decree. Let's look at the word decree. I would declare the decree. So see, we find the word sapar. Yep, to count, recount, relate, count, to be counted, rehearse, talk. Okay. Learn, man, scribe. Yeah, sapar also means scribe too. Right? We have confidence in the book, okay, and the understanding of the book and what the Most High told us what would happen next. Okay, the prophecies. So if the Lord said this is a decree, that's it. That you can't, you can fight against it, but you're going to lose. So the only option for us is to submit to the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That's our only option. And that's what us hopeful elect will do. Okay. I would declare the decree, the Lord, okay, Yahweh has said unto me, Yahushua, thou art my son. Okay. This day have I begotten thee, the only begotten son. Okay. Ask of me, and I will give thee the heathen for thine inheritance. These other nations are part of our inheritance. Now, first it was given to Yahushua, but then if you go into Revelation, the second chapter, I believe the second chapter, it goes into how those that endure into the end, and bear their cross, essentially, Yahweh Shai is going to give him the same reward that his father gave him. He has power to do that. Okay, so we are also going to inherit, all right, the heathen. But there's a way in order for us to receive that. We're just not going to receive, which all Jake is going to receive. All Israelites are going to be righteous. But there's going to be levels to that, man. You don't want to be destroyed and your name, be bad, because you were just a demon in Babylon the Great. That was your legacy. The legacy that you left in the first world was you was just a demon. Okay, the next world is eternal, man. Okay, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance, and the uttermost part of the earth for thy possession. Jake, you got a lot of Jakes that don't even leave their block. They can't even imagine leaving their block, man. Or if they leave their block, they might get shot. All right, you got certain Jakes that were able to travel, go different places, but it says for thy possession. You don't possess none of those places, and you better have a bag. And the locals might rob you. And the women, the local women, they might drug your ass and rob you. And you might get put to death. So you don't have possession. You can't go to Hawaii and you say, oh, this is my territory. You can't do none of that. You Jakes don't own no fucking resources. Okay? The car that you own, you better register that car. Okay? You better pay taxes on that car. And furthermore, that car is subject to break down. That house, Esau can come and take it by public domain or something like that. I want this land. Bye, nigga. Or they break up your household. Your woman say, I'm gone. Here it is. You've been married to her for 25 years, and now she gone. Now you're a narcissist. You didn't let her live. She want to go out with her, she looking at Instagram. She want to go and travel. I want to go to Mexico. I want to go to Dubai. And she want to be a hoe. So Esau don't even have to come with a gun to your head and break and destroy your inheritance, destroy the possessions that you have. He destroying it from the inside out. Because is your son going to carry on your legacy? You a plumber. Okay? Is your son going to be a plumber in your stead? And furthermore, you don't even start your own plumbing business. Okay? So your son going to have to work for another company being a plumber. That's hell, man. A goddamn carpenter. That's hell. Any of these jobs, that's hell. Ooh, I got a good job. I love, nigga, that's hell. You love hell. You love slavery. And that's essentially our people, man. It's Israel homeborn. So you kind of get, I'm starting to get mad, man. And I try to calm myself down. But it's just, when you think about these niggas in their low mindset, which, really is all spirit. It's all spiritual. So really, we laugh. But sometimes you get upset. But we don't have a continuing city, man. This is not our, going back to that scripture, Micah 2:10. This is not our rest. It's polluted, man. Okay? Any possession that you get, they can fly away. You can lose them. Or you could just drop dead. You could get diagnosed with cancer. You eating healthy. You hear that you believe you eating healthy, you working out, exercise, and you still feel like shit. You still feel like shit. You doing yoga, you running, you going to the gym. They say go to the gym, right? Exercise. You exercising, you cutting down your alcohol, trying to eat more vegetables, and you still feel like shit. Okay? That's why we grown. We grown in these bodies for a new body, a new heaven, and a new earth where dwelleth righteousness. We're not going to stop until we receive that. Okay? Unless the Most High take the spirit off of us, and we pray that the Most High don't take the spirit off of us. Why? Because there's certain men that have to be doing what we're doing. That's not going to stop. There's certain men that's not going to stop. The Most High put a spirit on Jeremiah. He had a fire that he could not forbear. Okay, it was burning inside of him. It's a spirit. Like even today, I gotta do my video. We gotta do a video. Gotta do a video. Gotta speak the word of the Lord. Okay, it's in us. Okay, so hey, we must uh, be diligent and remain diligent. Uh, Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance, and the uttermost part of the earth for thy possession. We're going to possess everything, down to if a baby is born, that's our possession. You know, yeah, I got a million. I got a million Mobites I own. A billion. We're gonna be owning. We're gonna own literally billions of people. We're gonna own literally whole lines. Lines of Moabites, lines of Elamites, lines of Hamites, and they're not gonna be able to. They're literally. We're gonna have the power where they're not gonna. They can't buck up. And we're gonna live forever, man. We're gonna live forever. Come on, man. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Why? Because they're our possession, and we can do what we want to do with them. And furthermore, they're going to receive the judgment for what we read earlier, them raging and taking counsel against the Most High and his sanctify his people. Let me read it. Let me read it again. Thou shalt break them. Let's look at this word break. All right, and no, we don't love the nations. Yes, we hate the nations. All right, the heathen nations. Okay, Bishop Nathaniel. All right, thou shalt break them. We're going to break you up. Ra'ai. Or Rai. Rai, which is evil. Like Shalak, Rayam, sin, Shalak, Rayam, evils. The yum at Rai, it makes it plural. Shalak, Rayam, Wa, and Mashapatium, judgment or judgments. Wa Ashim, fires. Okay, all upon Babal, Babylon. Okay, Babakusha, please, Babakusha. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, the water them Yad Tawab, okay? Basically sent a curse to send fires and evils and judgments upon Babylon, okay? So that word Rai means to be bad, be evil, well, to be wicked, to do an injury, okay? So it says to be in a good sense, or to bring injury, to break somebody, right? To break somebody, or to be evil to somebody. Which what we're gonna do is gonna be righteous actually, but it's gonna be evil to them. To hit somebody and bash somebody's head with a baseball bat, that's evil. Okay, you've done evil to them. Now, what if it was the judgment for something that they did bad? Well, that was righteous, but it was still evil to them. That's bad to them. Okay, to cause them to cause injury upon somebody, which means to break them. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Okay, think of a baseball bat. That's a rod of iron. Okay, but we're going to have an actual scepter. A scepter for bashing people's heads in. Breaking bones. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Like when you have a vase and you throw it on the ground and it what's it called? It bursts into 1,000 pieces. That's what we're gonna do with you nation. We're gonna burst you into 1,000 pieces. And you're gonna humble down. Be wise now, therefore, O you kings. So it's who is it talking to? It says kings. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth. And these kings and judges of the earth, they're not wise. They're not instructed. Okay, they actually cast the Most High's instruction away from it. It was at Psalms, the 50th chapter. Okay, thou hatest instruction and castest my word behind thee. Thou speakest against thy own mother's son. Okay, Esau. What hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Okay, and thou shalt take my covenant in thy mouth. Okay, that's Esau. He casts all these things behind him. Okay, Serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. See, we're the kings and the judges that the Most High is talking to. But everybody got the scriptures now, right? Everybody got the scriptures. So Esau read it. Now it applies to him. He's the ruler, but he's not implementing these things. So he's going to be judged by the book. Okay. Serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son. Okay. Give reverence to Yahushai. You see Sakari, Alizé, the head of Sakari, you see how the Most High broke that up. And their whole part of their doctrine was not giving reverence to Yahushai. Yahushai is just, he's just a man. You know, he's probably just a little bit over us. But he's not somebody that you should worship. And you see how the Most High, he broke that up. Kiss the Son, which that was a practice. Like, remember when Jacob gave Esau that kiss? It pacified Esau. Esau wanted to kill him. Okay? So we must pacify the anger of Yahushai. We gotta when he comes, we have to be doing the right thing. And he look, okay, all right, you good. All right, you good. I'm happy with you. And then I'm gonna destroy you. With those my enemies that would not come and bow down before me, bring them hither and slay them before me. That's basically, they didn't kiss the Son. They didn't give, let's look at this word kiss. They didn't reverence Yahushai, man. Kiss. Nakwash. To put together, kiss, to touch gently, to be equipped with, be equipped. Let's see. Let's look at the root. Doesn't really give us nothing that I want. All right, but there's precepts on that. If we go further, I'm not gonna go deep into it. But I'll do this. Historically, what was a kiss symbolize with a king? Like, you watch those ancient period pieces where the ring will, the king will pull out his hand and there'll be a ring on it, and his servant will have to kiss the ring to show its allegiance before, everybody. Let's look. Okay, historically, a kiss involving a king is not Yahushai the king. Symbolize, this is AI overview, right? I wrote historically, what was a kiss symbolized with a king? Historically, a kiss involving a king symbolized reverence, which is worship, absolute submission, which is worship, and political alliance. Now, that's all we need. You can go more into, you could, this is the thing, you can Google these things yourself. You can Google, you can AI it, you can look back into it, you can see, you can fact check us. We want you to fact check us. Okay? And and if we went off, then we got to come back and we have to make that right. Okay? And sometimes, you might mistake, say some slip up. Okay? And you got to come back and you got to correct it. Right? So we understand what that word kiss, right? Kiss the Son means to give total, how does it say? Absolute submission, reverence, which is worship, and political alliance. Okay? Lest he be angry. So you give Yahushai his worship, his reverence, his total submission, lest he be angry, or he'll be angry. Because he was the Most High told him, no, you gonna rule the earth. The earth, this is you the second in command. Everything's gonna bow down before you. So here it is, Yahushai, everything's gonna bow down before Yahushai, and you don't want to bow down? And you're worthy for everything to bow down. See, it's not like it was just given to him, which it was, but he received it of his Father through the sacrifice he did when he went on that cross. Okay, and furthermore, he didn't have to do a sacrifice, but that's, if the Most High wanted him to be number two, the Most High made him number two. There's nothing you can do. You're gonna submit, or he gonna destroy you. World's gonna go into it. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way. So if you don't want to submit, bring them hither and slay them before me. So you're going to see a lot of that amongst our people. You're going to see a lot of individuals that still worship Jesus Christ and, worship all these different gods. The Most High is going to take them out because they didn't want to give Yahushua his total reverence, even within the Israelite so-called community. Okay? That are calling on, you got Israelites that are calling on Jesus Christ. They're calling on God, Yeshua, Yeshaya, Jesus Christ, all these weird fucking names, Christ. Yahushua is going to destroy them, man. Okay. It says, and ye perish from the way when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. So it's the characteristics of someone, or the action of someone that didn't believe in Yahushua, or the judgment that didn't believe in Yahushua, and those that did believe and give reverence and trust in Yahweh Shem Shai, they're going to be blessed. All right, so, hey, I pray the lesson was edifying. Till next time, shalom to the elect.